Hey guys, hope you're having a good week. Today we're going to be looking at the Stratford Square Mall in Bloomingdale, Illinois. The mall opened in 1981 with 1.3 million square feet of space, including 5 department store slots. The mall serves the western Chicago suburbs of Bloomingdale, Carroll Stream, Glendale Heights vicinity, and is 30 miles from downtown Chicago off of Interstate 290. The mall has been fairly successful right up until 1990s, when its larger cousin, Woodfield Mall, 12 miles away, completed a major renovation and expansion in 1996. The Woodfield Mall, currently being much larger with 234 stores, has always been seen as a go-to destination for shoppers across the Chicago metro. This often makes it harder for other nearby malls to gain traction. An example of this is the Charlestown Mall, 22 miles away, which opened in 1991 but closed in 2017. I might be the minority here, but I always like the white columns they have here. It almost looks like simplified Greek columns. As of 2020, the mall is almost 40 years old, but before we can understand the rise and unfortunate fall of this mall, we have to kind of look at the urban history before the mall was built. In the 1960s and 70s was a time of growth and expansion for the Chicago area. The building boom out of Chicago was well and active, heading westward through DuPage County. A small town of Bloomingdale, established 100 years earlier by German settlers, was right in its path. By the late 1970s, Bloomingdale wanted to capitalize on the growth to make itself a regional landmark for suburban retail. The center of this hub was to be a super-regional mall located on the west side of the village at the intersection of Gary Avenue and Schick Road. In building the Stratford Square Mall, developers sought to fill in this retail hole in the western suburbs between Oakbrook Court in the south, the city of Chicago to the east, and Woodfield Mall to the north. Stratford Square Mall opened to instant success and became the anchor it was intended to be for a massive retail corridor on the west side of Bloomingdale. After the mall opened, many big box anchor strip malls opened in the coming years to complement the mall, mostly along Army Trail Road and Gary Avenue. Here's a little children's play area, all the way in one corner of the mall. One can say, though, that this is one of the most unluckiest malls in the Chicago metro. There are 6 department store slots, but only 2 are occupied. The department stores taking the mall is Kohl's and Burlington Coat Factory. The last stores occupied in the vacant spaces were JCPenney, Macy's, Carson's, and Sears. Here we're at the first floor food court. It's inset over a large overhang that juts out of the side. It has wood beams on the ceiling that emulates outdoor patio. It's a unique design, but it gives off a kind of a closed-off dining area, in my opinion, and makes it seem claustrophobic while eating. One of the overarching themes is the mall being built in the early 80s, and the architecture has not changed much since its opening. You can see the wood is the major theme throughout. The pyramid-like ceiling headers among the wood pillars give it a mid-century modern look, even through being built in the 80s. It's a nice theme that has been preserved to this day. At the end of 1999, the mall completed a major renovation. It remained open and customers were able to continue shopping. Improvements included new flooring throughout the center, a new elevator, additional escalators, and enlarged restrooms including 2 family rooms, comfortable seating, and an expanded retail area on the lower level. A new water display was a major focal point of Center Court. Entrances would be more visible with the addition of enhanced signage and lighting, and automatic doors would be available at each mall entrance. This is probably one of the nicest movie theaters I've ever been to. You can see they have a nice grand staircase that leads up to a high ceiling type environment. The theater opened in 2007 and was known as Cinemark Century Theater. It now has 16 all-digital screens, a cappuccino bar, marble flooring, and stadium seating. After the movie theater renovation, a Red Robin restaurant was added next to the theater. In October 2011, the computerized fountain in the center square next to the food court was replaced by a carousel, which is now located in the lower level of the Burlington Coat Factory wing. Here's the entrance to the Sears, now vacant. It was announced that Sears would be closing this location as part of a plan to close 26 stores nationwide. The store closed on November 10, 2019. This now would leave the Burlington Coat Factory and the Kohl's as the only anchor stores left. One of the biggest projects coming to the mall is the Woodman's plan to demolish the former Macy's location to make room for a standalone grocery store. The Macy's space at Stratford has been vacant since the mall closed in March of 2017. The village officials of Bloomingdale's have been told that the mall is planning to finalize the sale of the empty retail space to Woodman's in June. We're hoping that the construction is going to start happening this year, the village president said. As part of its proposal, Woodman's is going to tear down the Macy's and part of the mall beside it, and then build a 243,000 square foot store on roughly 19 acres of land. As said before, 4 department stores closed out of the 6 slots here. A little bit of history which led up to this unfortunate happening. Weebolt's became JCPenney in 1988, shortly after the Weebolt's went bankrupt. In early 2014, Stratford was acquired by Street Mac, and on January 15, 2014, JCPenney announced that its store would be closing as part of a plan to close 33 stores nationwide. The store closed on May 3, 2014. Marshall Field's was converted to Macy's in 2006, and on January 4, 2017, Macy's was announced that it would be also closing as part of a plan to close 68 stores nationwide. The store closed on March 26, 2017. On April 18, 2018, Carson's announced that they would be closing, as well as the parent company, the Bon-Ton, which was going out of business. That store closed on August 29, 2018. Unfortunately, this mall is no longer going to be like it was when it first opened and through the 1990s. The best days as a full-fledged 100% retail establishment is long gone. The new owners is looking at having a mix of 40% retail and 60% entertainment and dining, with the addition of Round 1 Entertainment Complex and the movie theater. The Woodman store hopefully will be a nice addition to the mix for that 40% retail. But it's going to be challenging, and there might be some adjustments and tweaks needed to be made to the master plan, but hopefully the vision will pan out. I see it holding promise, but only time will tell. And here's the abandoned Carson Pirie Scott. Unfortunately, this is one of the stores that went out of business. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you have any other questions or comments, let me know. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks, guys.